Ladies and gentlemen, today I have the pleasure of introducing one of the absolute best in the industry, a true leader and a mentor, a broking powerhouse with over 2 decades of financial experience, someone who expertly navigates both the high street and intermediary markets, our head of property development, Peter Williams. So Pete, you've been a driving force here at Empire, not only leading some of our most significant projects, but also mentoring the next generation of financial professionals. But if someone was to look on your social media profile this year, they may think that things have been pretty quiet. Now, as we know, that's quite the contrary. So could you tell us a little bit about what you've been quietly working on in 2024?
I think when it comes to things like social media, I've always been pretty quiet. It's just, I get a lot of flack from it from my colleagues, and they're always saying you need to be shouting about what you're doing,
right.
But it's just never been something I've done.
Plus, you're so busy outside of these platforms, it's probably the last thing on your mind.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, there's plenty of news for you to share with our community, both in terms of your professional successes and achievements. You've also had a lot going on in your personal life, with plenty to be proud of there. So let's bring some of those projects into the spotlight.
Well, I guess it's tough because every year for a long time I've been involved in some super exciting projects. I've been quite lucky with the network I have around me to be able to get involved with some of these fantastic deals. Not all of them are huge. Some of them are quite quirky. Some of them involve some quirky people. Some of them involve quirky transactions. And thankfully for me, some of them are super big. But that's not the be all and end all.
One deal in particular, which we've had the pleasure of working on together, is the recent completion of The Who. Our video case study is currently underway. We're looking to share the timeline of the development, the story behind The Who, and some of the complexities surrounding the deal.
Yeah, it was a very complicated deal. Anytime you're dealing with grade 2 listed buildings, conservation areas, it's always going to start to be complicated from the outset. You've got single high value assets which create a larger risk. So you've got to make sure that the right team are on the job. I was brought in because the client was starting to struggle with getting the deal moving forward. We agreed a path of least resistance, how we're going to move this project forward. We introduced some time frames. Once the right team were in place, that project then started to move swiftly all the way through to conclusion. And that's everything from the right architect to the right QS, the right PM, the right lender.
Now, you bring a tremendous amount of experience and expertise to every transaction. So given the complexity of this one, is there a specific strategy that you'd implement to a deal like The Who? Or is there no actual formula in anticipating some of these things?
No, I think with any transactions, knowledge is key. So the first thing for me is KYC. I get to know the client, and then I'll get to know the project.
And that background work benefits all parties involved, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Inevitably, you cannot find the right funder or find the right PM, or you can't do any of these things unless you've got an intricate knowledge of everything that's going on, from who your client is to the demographic of where the project is, and because everyone's good at something, but not everyone's good at everything. So once you understand that, it's easier to find the right people. But even then, the right people are often busy. So it's also about finding people with the right timeline that happens to meet up with
their schedule and client needs.
Absolutely.
There's an awful lot of plays that you spin in, Pete. Personally, professionally, how do you go about finding the right balance? I guess the healthy balance.
We go through the same highs and lows as everyone does, and I think it's important to kind of get that across to our clients sometimes, where we're not that stuffy bank manager sitting on high opposite you. I was the main carer for my father for several years until he sadly passed away recently through cancer. I had to kind of remember that a lot of my businesses still need the support. I can't just disappear off the planet, but equally I needed to be there for my family through what was a tough time. I left there was a breakdown of a relationship after 24 years. It was all relatively amicable, but it's a big lifestyle change after 24 years to have to then move, then buy a new house, then kind of start again. So whilst we're still friendly, there's a lot of tough things that we have to do in our personal lives as well, and we kind of have to remember that we don't want that to affect our clients, but equally we're also human. I have to recognise that there has to be a work-life balance, and quite often my work commitments have to and my personal commitments need to evolve. I used to be quite heavily involved in sport, training rugby twice a week, playing at the weekend, playing cricket, squash. That's kind of perhaps not practical at this time in my career. So now I've got a bit more balance in my life, let's say. And again, it's going back to that knowledge is power. Just understand what you've got ahead of you. I don't think there's any use getting in there at 7 a.m. and working right through till midnight. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the quality of the work should kind of supersede working tremendously long hours. You're going to burn out. And naturally, then the quality of your work won't be as good. So you just need to have a little look at yourself. Maybe you need to be a bit more organised. Maybe you need some upskilling. Something has to happen, but the quality of your work is tantamount to give all my clients the best possible service.
That's what I was just about to say, is you're very grounded in your ability to allocate the right amount of time to each of the tasks that you approach, but the question is, how do you maintain the same high standard each and every time?
Well, I guess I'm very, very lucky. It's taken us a little while, but we've got a very, very strong team around me here at Empire. And I can genuinely say, it's taken me a long time to be able to delegate. But now I've got such a strong team around me, I can honestly delegate. We know the job's getting done. They're going to come back to me, let me know what's been done, what's next. And they can manage me equally as I can manage them. And I think that's having the right people around you has been absolutely key.
Well, I believe you deserve a tremendous amount of credit for spreading that mindset amongst the team, especially us young ones coming in. Myself, Matt Dalton, Jody Hallam. We're seeing experts in our field such as yourself lead by example, and in the process we get to elevate our game too, so huge thank you to you, Pete.
Thank you.
So I guess this brings me on to the level of volume you've experienced in 2024. What has been taking up the majority of your time so far?
I mean, The Who was a fantastic project to work on, and we're continuing to work on it. This will be a project we'll see all the way through. We still need to consider exits. We still need to consider whether the client's moving that into their portfolio. So that was great. We managed to finance some fabulously luxury cars. Equally, we've got some trading businesses that are looking to expand, both healthcare and in the waste industry. I've seen some of my clients grow. They've always been traditional, a residential portfolio landlord. They've grown into commercial portfolios now. I think what's really exciting is it's all great talking about these fabulously big deals, but what I really like is when you've got a client where you've dealt with smaller transactions, which are big by their standards, and you've seen them grow and grow and grow and grow from buying their first buy-to-let, and now they're building their first 5 houses from a ground-up point of view, and it's really exciting to be a part of that, I have to say.
Great to see that whole journey come together, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic when you see it work. It really, really does.
And what would you say are some of the ways you'd approach building a great long-term client relationship?
A lot of it comes from not just having the positive conversations and letting people do whatever it is they want to do. I think sometimes you've got to have the tough conversations and say, look, the direction you're going isn't working, or it isn't going to work. You don't have the right people around you, you don't have enough money behind you, you don't have enough of the skills behind you to be able to go from such a huge leap. So I think it's just about helping people grow in an organised fashion.
It's that ability to have the difficult conversations sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to have tough conversations. Not every conversation is going to be a happy one. And I think our clients respect that. We're here to help them achieve their goals. And I just don't think saying yes to everything is particularly constructive, especially in such a moving market. Personally, and as a business, we have to be quite reactive to that. We were having lots of conversations trying to support all our trading business clients. Those trading businesses that we kind of supported coming through COVID, it's fantastic because some of them have just thrived and they're coming back to us, and now they want money to expand their business, so we're doing cash flow funding. Some of them are ending up with huge tax bills, which is a double-edged sword. It's a good problem because it means you're making more money. They need some support with managing those tax bills and spreading them over a few months, or even perhaps over 12 months. So it's great to see those businesses kind of go from kind of struggling through a tough time for everyone and now thrive, which once again just emphasises the wide array of solutions that we offer. The reason I don't do a tremendous amount of BDM style work on social media is because most of my clients are all repeat clients or referral clients.
And I guess having built and maintained those client relationships, you don't really feel the need to advertise it online.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I really appreciate your time today, Pete. I'm sure we'll do another one of these again, and thanks so much for sitting down with me.
Absolutely, likewise. Looking forward to it.
Thank you all for watching. I'm sure we'll see you again very soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow our social media platforms. That's Empire Global Finance Show, dynamic, client-focused, debt specialist. Have a great day.